Chairman Lobiando for calling today's hearing on aviation safety. This is a very important hearing. Our aviation system is safe, safer than it has ever been before. No one has died in an accident involving a U.S. flagged airliner since 2009 when the Colgan 3407 crashed near Buffalo and claimed 50 lives. Safe is not enough, though. The subcommittee's job is to provide the resources and oversight necessary for the Federal Aviation Administration to make the system even safer. That must be our starting point today. Everyone agrees we have the safest system in the history of flight, but what can we do to make the system safer still? Well, for starters, that means not rolling back safety rules. Some have argued for a rollback of the strong pilot training rules that require 1,500 hours of flight time that Congress mandated after the Colgan crash. Those standards were the product of focused oversight by this subcommittee and were enacted without any partisan objection. If we want to talk about what Congress, the FAA, and others can do to make the airline pilot profession even more accessible to the next generation of pilots, we should have that conversation. But any reduction in the experience requirements for airline pilots is a non-starter. Such a proposal has kept the Senate FAA reauthorization bill off the Senate floor for nearly a year. Congress has never rolled back on airline safety rules simply to respond to the market forces of supply and demand. If there is a pilot shortage, and that is a big if, we will find ways to address it without sacrificing safety. I look forward to hearing from our witnesses about what the FAA can do to improve safety. I was pleased to join Ranking Member DeFazio and Congressman DeSaulnier last week in requesting a GAO study of safety in runway environments. Now is the time to take a closer look at what steps are necessary to prevent future near misses and runway incursions at airports across the U.S. A better understanding of current safety gaps would help ensure the safety of the 2.5 million people who fly in and out of the U.S. airports every day. Just last year, an Air Canada flight almost landed on top of a queue of airplanes waiting to take off at San Francisco. A landing Delta flight in Atlanta lined up with a taxiway in poor visibility before going around for another approach. And a Horizon Air flight actually landed on the taxiway in Pullman, Washington, as did an Alaska flight in Seattle. Needless to say, we're fortunate that there were not any other planes on those taxiways. The NTSB is investigating several of these incidents, and I understand the Department of Transportation Inspector General is assessing runway safety as well. I look forward to hearing more from all of our witnesses about how we can prevent recurrences of these events before they lead to accidents. I'm also interested in hearing from our witnesses about what we should do to reduce the risk that a drone may one day collide with a conventional airplane. A provision in the 2012 FAA bill prohibits the FAA from directly regulating the recreational operations of drones. But as recreational drone use flourishes, should the FAA be so restricted? What can the FAA do to prevent collisions between recreational drones and other aircraft? Captain, Mr. Hampton, I know you have views on the subject, and I look forward to hearing from you much more on that. Chairman Lobiando and I have a record of working together to improve safety and efficiency, and as the Chairman enters the last year of his distinguished career in Congress, I look forward to continuing that work and moving the needle further. Again, Mr. Chairman, thank you, and I look forward to hearing from our witnesses.
Thank you, Rick. Chairman Schuster.
Thank you, Chairman Lobiando.